Hello, these are my predictions for the CAS Cinema Audio Society, ACE Eddie Awards, and ASC American Society of Cinematographers. First off, CAS for live action movie. The nominees are Sound of Metal, Trial of the Chicago 7, Greyhound, News of the World, and Mank. And I believe Sound of Metal will win because it has sound in the name and it was a very well done movie. Next in line I think would be Mank, then Trial, then Greyhound, then News of the World. I think Mank would be next in line because of the sound of the old style of film that they used. And Trial was just a well-made Oscar movie that I think they'd go more for than the action or cowboy movie or western. For film animation, the nominees in order which I think they will win are Soul, Onward, Trolls World Tour, The Croods A New Age, and Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon. Soul, it is a Pixar film that deals with music, so I think that's why it has a shot. Then Onward, because it's a well-made Pixar film. After that, Trolls World Tour, because it's another film that deals with music. And the CAS tends to go with films that deal with music, so I think it would be third in line. And then Croods 2 and Shaun the Sheep, they're basically just there because they had to have 5 nominees in my opinion. But I could be wrong. For documentary, the nominees in the order in which I think they're most likely to win are the Bee Gees documentary, which I forget what the subtitle is for that, apologies. David Attenborough, A Life on Our Planet, My Octopus Teacher, Zappa, and The Social Dilemma. I believe the Bee Gees will win this award because it deals with music, and sound mixing and music tend to do pretty well at these type of awards. Dave Attenborough, Life on Our Planet, they have to make sounds sometimes for the animals or find the sounds and increase them and mix them properly. So, or just regular nature things. Nature documentaries also have to have very good sound mixing. My Octopus Teacher is another film that deals with animals, so they gotta mix the audio very well. Zappa, I don't know much about the movie, therefore I don't think it's going to win. And Social Dilemma, I think this was a movie that took everybody by storm, but not quite sure why it's here. For TV miniseries, here is where it really gets difficult predicting because I've not seen every one of these and I haven't seen all of the movies either. But TV miniseries, The Watchmen was a big thing last award season for TV, and it won a lot of stuff at the Emmys. But this year, Queen's Gambit's been winning everything. So I have it between those two. I think Watchmen will get it, but the Queen's Gambit could very well snatch in and take this award. But because Watchmen has more action and they have to have more sound for action, I think it has a shot. Then American Horror Story, the new season, it has a shot because it's nominated, but I would put that next in line. Then Lovecraft Country, again, good sound mixing, just I don't think it has much of a shot. And then Fargo, again, good sound, but just not necessarily on the caliber of Watchmen or The Queen's Gambit. For TV 1 hour, I have Westworld winning this award because Westworld has a lot of sound mixing that's important. Then The Crown, because I think the CAS would be more likely to go with something that actually has sound and an important sound than something that's just an awards favorite. If there's something that they like slightly more, but there's something that has better sound mixing, they would go with the better sound mixing. Then Ozark, which is one of my favorite shows of last year, and Better Call Saul, another one of my favorites. Then after that, it's Mrs. Maisel. Good nominees, but I think it's going to be Westworld who wins it. And if not Westworld, The Crown. And like I said, the last 3 nominees could potentially win it, but I don't think they will, because I think Westworld is a very strong mixing contender. For TV half an hour, there are 2 Mandalorian episodes on here, and they are both my top 2. The episode 102 and episode 205. I'm assuming that is the 2nd episode of the 1st season and the 5th episode of the 2nd season. I think 102 will win, because if I remember correctly, there was quite a bit of action and good sound technique in that episode. And I haven't seen season 2 yet, but I think I know of which episode this is because of spoilers online. And I think that's a close second. But I think the wow of the 2nd episode of the 1st season will win it. There's Ted Lasso for this award next, and the guilds and everything have been loving Ted Lasso, so I think it has a shot. Dead to Me, another great show, and then Modern Family, one of the last chances, or the last chance they will get to award Modern Family unless there's a revival. Now it is time for the ACE Eddie Awards. For drama, I have The Sound of Metal winning this because I think Sound of Metal will win the Oscar. But if Sound of Metal doesn't win it, I think it's between Trial and Nomadland. I have Trial above it because everybody was saying Trial was going to win it since Critics' Choice, or since before Critics' Choice. And after Critics' Choice, it's been starting to switch to Sound of Metal, which I think is a great pick. But Nomadland also has a shot because they could love Nomadland and want to award it. And I think these 3 are your ones that have the most chance when it comes to Oscar season. But since we're talking about the ACE Eddie, I think it's going to be Sound of Metal. A lot of people are predicting Trial here, but I think it's going to be ACE. At ACE, I think it's going to be Sound of Metal because I think Sound of Metal will eventually win the Oscar, and I think it's just better sound or better editing. After Trial and Nomadland, there's Minari, and then there's Mank. I don't think either of these are going to win, but it's a possibility. But those, I think it's basically between the top 3, and really I think it's between the top 2. But I think Sound of Metal is going to get it. For comedy, Promising Young Woman, I believe, will win this award because it was nominated at the Oscar and it deserved it. Palm Springs was very well edited, but I don't think there will be as much love for it as there is Promising Young Woman. I Care a Lot, again, another really well edited comedy. I think some of these comedies are better edited than the dramas personally, but that's why there's another category for it. Borat 2, again, edited very well. On the Rocks was also, I think, a very well edited movie. All these movies have editing that it brings it to the forefront without it being too showy, like, say, a Bohemian Rhapsody. For animation, Soul. If Soul's nominated in most of these, I gotta go with it because it's the most well-made animated film of the year. Then after Soul, I would say Onward because I think it was decently edited. And then Wolfwalkers. I think they will like Wolfwalkers. I haven't seen it, and I haven't seen Over the Moon either. But I think Croods 2 is number 4, and Over the Moon's number 5, and then Wolfwalkers is number 3. For documentary, I have Dick Johnson Is Dead winning this because from what I hear, it is very well edited, and it's edited in a way to where it really enhances the story. Then I would say My Octopus Teacher is next because it's most likely going to win the Oscar. For the social Dilemma, I have that at number 3. Then All In. Then Dissident. Basically, I think it's between Dick Johnson and My Octopus Teacher. For drama, commercial, which here in the TV categories, they split them up between TV series that have a commercial, like commercial breaks in them, because that influences how they are edited, and ones that are not, like ones that are on streaming or HBO, which it does make a difference in the editing, in my opinion, and it's good that it has an extra slot for them. Drama, for commercial, I have Better Call Saul winning this award because any Vince Gilligan show is very well edited. Then This Is Us, which is also well edited, especially for a primetime network television show. After that, I have Killing Eve and Mr. Robot. But I think because Better Call Saul is the more awards-worthy show, I think it's going to win here, especially since it is very well edited. For drama, non-commercial, I have The Mandalorian winning this because I think it is very well edited. Then Ozark, it is also very well edited. If it wasn't for The Mandalorian being a technical beast, I think Ozark would win this. After that, it's Euphoria Special, which was on HBO Max, and I hear it's really good, but I'm not caught up on Euphoria yet. And then Bosch, which is a show I've heard about but haven't seen. I'm assuming it's well edited, but I still think it's going to be between Mandalorian and Ozark. For comedy commercial, Schitt's Creek, it's the last chance to award it. I think it's going to win. It's a very well-made show from the bits and clips I've seen, and I think it's edited from what I've seen, especially for a show that's on television. Then I have What We Do in the Shadows. I have one of the episodes at number 2 and then the other episode at number 3. I'm sorry, my notes are not very good. But it's the Resurrection one that I have at number 3, and I can't read what I have for the number 2 pick. I apologize. The Good Place, I have it at number 4. Again, a really well edited show, but I think Schitt's Creek's going to win. For regular comedy, non-commercial, I have The Hope That Kills You winning for Ted Lasso, and then Make Rebecca Great Again for Ted Lasso at number 2. For number 3 pick, I have Curb Your Enthusiasm and then Insecure. I think Ted Lasso, they're going to love it, and I remember The Hope That Kills You being a really well done episode. The editing didn't particularly stand out, but that's because so many other things of that episode stood out. That's why I think it's going to win. For limited series, I have Watchmen winning this because Watchmen was a very well made show, and I think the editing on it was very well done. The storytelling with the editing. I have not seen The Queen's Gambit, which I really want to. I just haven't got around to it. From what I've seen of clips of it, it's well edited as well. Hamilton, the camera work and the editing with that was very well done, so I think it's number 3. And then Mrs. America, one that I haven't seen, but I don't think it's going to beat either Watchmen or Queen's Gambit. For variety show, Saturday Night Live I think will win because Saturday Night Live has been on for a while and they have to edit sometimes on the spot since it's live especially. 846, which is the comedy show that Dave Chappelle released after the death of George Floyd. I think that would be number 2 because it was more of a spur of the moment thing again. I think it has a chance. American Utopia, I think it would be number 3. And then the Mark Twain Prize Honors for Dave Chappelle, I think it would be at number 4. But I would say SNL will most likely win this award. For the ASC Cinematography Awards, for feature, I have Nomadland winning this because I believe it will win the cinematography Oscar. I believe that Mank will be number 2 because it is a black and white film. But I think those two are where we're going to be looking at for here, as well as the Academy Awards. I know I keep mentioning the Oscar, but the Oscar predictions weigh heavily on my predictions here. So if you're not interested in the Oscars, then I apologize. Trial of the Chicago 7, I think, is number 3 because it is a more front runner for more types of awards than News of the World, a Western that I think the cinematography is very well done on. And then Cherry, a film that I have not seen. I think it's number 5, but they liked it enough to nominate it over other films. So for documentary, Nocturna, I believe will win. Then Gunda, and then Truffle Hunters. I honestly have not seen any of these or really heard of many. I've only heard of Nocturna and then a little bit about Truffle Hunters. I basically picked what I thought Gold Derby would do, if I'm being honest, because I let them take the lead on that one. For a 1-hour commercial series, Better Call Saul I think will win because most of it's in the desert. And I think the desert scenes, you have to have very good lighting in those. So I think Better Call Saul will win. And then Killing Eve, which from what I can see, the cinematography is interesting in that show and done well. Motherland, which I am not aware of the show, but I went with Gold Derby later on with the numbers 3 through 5 on this list. And then 2 episodes of Project Blue Book, Area 51, and Operation Main Brace. For 1-hour non-commercial, I have Fairy Tale from The Crown winning because it is number 1 on Gold Derby, and I think The Crown will win this. Then Perry Mason, which is a very well shot and lit TV show from what I've seen through the trailers. Ambrosia for The Crown, I think, is spot number 3. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, what I've seen of it, it is very well done cinematographically. And then Lucifer. I'm surprised it was honestly nominated here, but I think it's number 5. Number 5. And then number 6, Impulse, which I do not know much about that show at all. I haven't heard of it until now. For miniseries, I have Watchmen winning because there were some scenes in black and white and in color, so that takes a lot of work. So I think Watchmen will win this year. Then The Queen's Gambit, because The Queen's Gambit was also very interesting cinematographically. The Plot Against America, it was a very well-liked show from what I've seen online, by some people at least. And then The Great, which it reminds me of The Favorite, so I think because that had very well done cinematography, I think The Great could win. And then Fargo is the 5th nominee, and I think it's least likely to win, but it still has a chance. For a half hour, there are 3 episodes of The Mandalorian nominated. Chapter 1, The Jedi, and The Believer. Chapter 1, I think everybody was so wowed by the cinematography that it will most likely win. Homecoming, the show with Janelle Monáe, I believe is in the 2nd season. And then it also had Julia Roberts in the 1st season. I don't know which season it is being nominated for, but I believe it's the 2nd one. I forgot that the 2nd one had came out, unless I'm completely wrong in that it hasn't. And then Insecure. I think Insecure is most likely to be the 5th slot here, but I think one of the Mandalorians are going to take it. I'm just not sure which one. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. My Oscar predictions for this week are coming up, but I'm in the process of editing that, and I wanted to release this before that because I wanted to make sure that I got this video out and done before the awards in case I'm really late on posting my Oscar predictions video. Thank you.